name is Kate, and I am a friend of Andrea's from high school, actually. Andrea asked me if I would share with you all about my journey with depression. And of course I will. Of course I will. It's so important to me personally that we as women and as moms talk about this, because it's not something that we need to be ashamed of. So, here's my story, I guess. My story with depression starts in college. I was happy. I didn't understand depression in like middle school and high school. I had a friend with depression in high school, and I just didn't understand. I didn't get it until I got to college. So I went to college for 3 years. In my third year, I was an RA, and I had a notoriously rough floor. So when I started feeling meh, I don't know how else to describe it, but meh, I started going to the counselor on campus, and her first words to me were, honestly, I can't believe you weren't here sooner, which kind of made me feel like, looking back, like what I was going through was going to be situational. Like it was a situation I was in, and that's why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But I went to see a counselor on campus, and so Wendy was my counselor. Her first pieces of advice for me were start exercising and drink more water. So immediately after that first meeting with her, I went to the campus store and I got myself a new water bottle, because who doesn't want a new water bottle? And also I didn't drink water. Like I didn't like it. So I didn't have a water bottle. So I got a water bottle and I started going to the gym on campus. I had no idea how to use any of the equipment. So I learned how to turn the elliptical on. That's it. And I would run on the elliptical for 30 minutes. So I did that almost every day, between like breaks between my classes. And then our campus offered like free fitness classes in the evenings. So I would go to those whenever I could. So I started working out quite a bit. And it helped. It helped. I drank more water. Those things helped for a while. But it wasn't like helping a ton. And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to get out of bed. I'm so sad and I have no idea why. I don't have any reason to be sad, but I'm just really sad. And she was like, okay, well, your dad has depression. And I was like, what? No one talked about it. I had no idea. My dad had been on medication for a couple years. And I had no idea that depression ran in my family. So I, went home for a break and went to my doctor, and he prescribed an antidepressant. So a combination of the antidepressants and exercise and having an idea of what was going on made a big difference. So I started being me again. I mean, that's the only way I know how to explain it. I started being me again. I wasn't sad all the time. I was awful to be around. It was terrible. No one wanted to be around me, and I was miserable. Fast forward a few years, my husband and I were married, and I was still on antidepressants. Apparently, it was not just a situational thing. And we wanted to have a baby. So I thought, well, better get off my antidepressants so I can do that. And like a couple of weeks without them, and we were like, oh, yikes, I need to go back on. So I went through all 3 pregnancies. I have 3 boys. I went through all 3 pregnancies on antidepressants, and I had to up my dosage while I was pregnant with each one because hormones suck. So, coffee. I relied heavily on my medication, and after my 3rd little boy, who is 4. So I know what you're going through. Mamas of preschoolers. After my third, the depression was kind of out of control. I mean, just to be completely honest, it was out of control. I was in lows more than I was out of them. When I was in a low, it was like I couldn't function. I just wanted to be in bed and sleep. I was despondent. I was apathetic. And you just can't be that way when you're a mom. Like, you don't have to be peppy, but I mean, you gotta do the things, the mom things. And so Bowen, my youngest, it's all mixed together, and it'll make sense in a minute. But when Bowen was a year old, I wanted to lose some weight. I figured it was about time I lost my baby weight from number 1. And I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, and I just wanted to lose some weight. So I told a friend of mine that I would join her little exercise group for a month. And so I committed for a month to exercising. And by exercising, I mean yoga 10 minutes a day, because I hated exercise. And I started eating better, drinking more water, just making healthier choices. And all of that, like, I was like, oh, hey, this is what Wendy told me to do when I was in college. But I started doing it, and I started feeling a lot better. Like, my depression, my lows were coming way less frequently. And when I hit a low, it wasn't as bad. And so I started feeling better. And after about 6 months, at that point, I was coaching other women in their health and fitness. But after about 6 months, I went to the doctor, and I was able to cut my medication in half. So this was the lowest dosage I'd been on, like, since college. I still felt like I needed it, but the exercise was doing what people said it was going to do. I mean, my whole life, people were like, exercise releases endorphins. And I was like, okay, sure it does, but I hate exercise. So how am I going to get endorphins if I hate it? Well, it turns out you can hate something and it can still be good for your body and your mental state. So, yeah, exercise, man. Like, it was the game changer. It was absolutely the game changer. So that was 3 years ago. And I'm still coaching. I'm still a health coach. I am now a group fitness instructor because I want other women to understand that moving your body, not crazy cardio or heavy lifting or becoming, some bodybuilder, not that. Moving your body on purpose is the greatest antidepressant and the most underutilized antidepressant on the planet. And it's the cheapest. I don't know if I can even tell you without crying happy tears how much. Here comes my 4-year-old to tell me he's hungry. Yes. What? No, he'll come in if he needs me. He'll come in. So all of that to say, exercise literally has saved my life. It has saved my life. It has saved my marriage. I'm a better mom because I have my depression under control. And on top of that, because I started coaching as well, I started doing more personal development, reading books about, how to just be a better human. And I all of a sudden had these tools at my disposal, like, that have been there all along, but I had these tools to recognize when I was going to be, like, when I was starting to dip into a low. And I had these tools to get myself out of it. Best tool ever, scripture. Always, repeating scripture in my head over and over. And then exercising. When I'm stressed, I exercise. When I'm bored, I exercise. When I am anxious, I exercise. And when I'm depressed, I exercise. Because every time exercise makes it better. Every time. Without fail. I feel better after I exercise. Do I want to do it? Heck no. I don't like it still. I still don't love exercise, but I love the way exercise makes me feel. I have confidence. This Kate is not the Kate I was 3 years ago. I would have never gotten on and talked to a whole bunch of other moms on a camera. Like, that freaks me out. But not anymore, because what God did was he used something that I did not want to do. He used exercise, something I hated, and changed my life with it. So, I'm looking at what Andrea told me to actually say. She said you all don't have exact questions, and I'm used to engaging, tell me some questions, but I can't do that on a video. So, that's my story. That's how I regularly fight my depression, because I am still on antidepressants and I still struggle. There are still seasons when I struggle, especially in the winter when it's here, and it makes me feel like that. But I have hope, and I have Jesus, and I have scripture, and I have exercise. And that has made a world of difference for me. So, if you ever need anyone to encourage you, I would love to be that person for you. But I hope that you all, I hope you'll have a great rest of your little meeting. And thank you. Thank you for letting me share with you.